three 3-minute rounds. It is time to meet the fighters. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, representing Kaizen Academy with a record of no wins and 1 defeat, it's Tom Staerk. And his opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, making his debut in the cage and representing Viva MMA, it's Oliver Broadbent.
Steve Cook-Abbott and Jay Furness here at the UK Fighting Championship 6. Jay looking forward to this one, straight away an amateur bantamweight competition. Oliver Broadbent in the blue corner taking on Tom Staerk, fighting out of the red corner.
Yep, always good to see two decent gyms opposite each other. Viva Combat Athletics there in one corner, Kaizen Academy in the other. See some experienced, Avi Jack, experienced UKFC fighter in the corner. Just recently got his brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
And in the cage, we start with a quick exchange and a low kick from Oliver Broadbent. It seems to me that that's going to be what he looks to do for this fight.
Yeah, and Tom firing back with a low kick of his own. A good knee to the midsection there as well. And nice little right hand on the break, but you saw Oliver use his range there. He's very long for this weight class. Good long reach, and you see Tom trying to close down that distance and initiate a clinch. Oliver doing a good job of keeping his back off the fence though and resetting.
Yeah, again, both these fighters don't seem like they're, one fight into their career or making their debut.
Yeah, both look very comfortable. Has to be said, very relaxed in there, letting the techniques flow. Always good, sets you up for a good night when you see two good young athletes there setting it up in the first fight. Should set us up for something good tonight. We're first fight in a big card, but all good so far.
Yeah, the pace for this one has been fairly fast as he...
Good right hand and another there, but
right
connected.
to the body.
As he went to the body there, Oliver connected with one of his own.
Both these guys have traded some big shots so far.
Yeah, Staerk just has to be careful when he does come in. If he gets a little bit loose, he gets countered by Oliver like he did there. Broadbent nice and sharp on that counter. Good, he's anticipating what Staerk's going to throw coming in. Oh, another good right hand there from Staerk as he plows forward.
And that was a right hand that was set up through the combination, wasn't it?
Absolutely. He's clearly not afraid to work his way inside and take a couple of Broadbent shots to try and land his own. Good angles there coming through on the shots. Bit of a less traditional angle with that slip and like a shovel hook up through the middle. Good head movement from Staerk as well.
Yeah, ducks under. Again, a fairly frenetic pace. Can't be much time left in this round, Jay Otten. It's only the first fight of the night.
Yeah, exactly. This has been very interesting so far. For me, good kick to the body. For me, Staerk's got stronger as the round's gone on. Broadbent was landing clean early on. It's Staerk landing the bigger shots. That's a nice left hook. And again, slipping off with some angles that are confusing Broadbent, I think.
Yeah, the movements and very, very good. Again, but these guys have only had a maximum of 9 minutes of cage time before this. If this is the quality of the amateur scene for debuting fighters, it's just Christmas.
Absolutely, and the 10-second clapper went there. Broadbent lands a nice straight and another one on the bell. That's been a good first round. Both will walk back to the corners, bloody noses. Fantastic first round.
And a great response from the crowd. 4:30, first fight of the night. And the crowd gave that round a round of applause. That was stunning.
Yeah, and there's a couple of moments in that round. Some nice head movement from Tom Staerk where the crowd appreciated his work and not blood and guts, but appreciating the technical element. So a good start.
It's a tight round. I think I've got to, if I'm playing virtual judge, I've got to favor the Kaizen Academy fighter. Maybe just a little busier. Landed a little bit more, but I'm not judging this bad boy.
Yeah, and you know, I know experience in the other corner. Dan Hope, obviously a very experienced MMA fighter himself. He's, you know, fought on some real big shows, lots of fights and lots of rounds under his belt. Both of these guys have got experience in the corner, telling them what they did right, what they did wrong, and how to make the adjustments for round 2.
And speaking of round 2, here we go. The fighters touch gloves, and this bantamweight contest goes into the second round.
Yeah, I know. Oh, good head kick there. Switched it with a little bit of a question mark kick. You know, sold it low and then went high. I do know Broadbent and the Viva guys, you know, and Griffiths in his corner, a good, very good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym. We've seen a little bit of clinch, but that's it. We've seen no groundwork at all. See if maybe he wants to pull some of that out of his locker at some point.
Well, he certainly is the lankier, the taller of the two fighters, long limbs, long arms, long legs. It lends itself to those submissions from the down, but Stark with a nice combination there.
Yeah, and then Broadbent came back. Stark just left himself in a little bit open. That's the problem with throwing the punches from those angles. The hands aren't back up as soon as they might be useful to be. So Broadbent came through with a couple of straight shots, and Stark's all the way in.
Straight front kick up the middle there.
Yeah, some good array of striking come from Stark. But yeah, he's certainly not afraid to take the shot to land his own. It's the angles. But Broadbent, when he comes clean down the pipe to counter, he's also landing some telling strikes as well.
Over a 9-minute fight, you know, in the amateur rules, so 3 3-minute rounds. You look at the damage that's starting to appear on the leg of Broadbent, those low kicks. Is that something you just keep going to, or is 9 minutes not enough time for it to be completely effective?
Yeah, it's absolutely a lot of time. It only takes one solid one to make an impact, and you know, it's hard to tell, you know, without wanting me to it negative to Broadbent, but he's quite a pale guy. You know, yeah. How much of that is easier to see, and that was a lovely combination. You know, you can see the redness and the welts a little bit easier on his body and legs.
Yeah,
that was a hard low kick there from Stark.
But that landed. Fair play to Broadbent there, who had the clinch and I think recognized that something wasn't right there and didn't follow up with any more offense. Fair play to the fighter for that.
Yeah, you heard the clunk. Obviously, completely accidental in this case. Doesn't mean it hurts any less, but just no intent there.
No, none whatsoever. And with a groin shot, fighter gets the time they need to recover.
Yeah, the 5 minutes. So you're because nobody really wants to be interfering. So the rules are you get that time to recover. With other injuries, obviously the referee can call a doctor in, but you don't get the full 5 minutes.
There you go. Touch of gloves.
And a little bit of respite in this one. I think we needed it more than these guys because they look fresh, good to go again.
Again, we got to be impressed by the pace of this fight. And some of those are starting to land through. Broadbent covers up.
Yeah, he's good chin on him, Broadbent. He's getting a warning just for the fingers coming towards his opponent rather than up to the ceiling. One of the rules that got brought in at the start of last year.
Yeah, and still a fairly confusing rule set, seeing as not every state, not every country, not ever follows it, but fair warning from the referee there.
Yeah, and the problem being is that you train a lot of your striking in big gloves, and it doesn't matter if you point your fingers towards your opponent, so you get into different habits that you have to then rectify in an MMA glove. It is tricky. But getting poked in the eye is worse. Good shots there from Broadbent.
Again, both these fighters have had moments throughout the first 6 minutes. Maybe 3 rounds won't be enough to separate this one.
Yeah, I mean, just as it seems one guy's getting in the ascendancy, you know, the other one shows that they're still in it and it's coming back there. Every time there's a rally from one, the other shows that they're capable of coming back. And, you know, that rally at the end of that round there in what was, I think, probably a closer round than the first round. I'd probably give the first round to Stark. I think that was a closer round and potentially, you know, something as little as a late rally, 3-4 shots could make a difference.
Absolutely. What are you telling the fighters now, Nicole? Because it is a close fight. Are you saying all guts or no glory, or are you telling them fight smart?
I think at this point where you've got the potential of it being a round each, there's no givens. I mean, it could be 2 rounds sort of either way, but if it's a round each, I don't think you can rest on your laurels and go in and play it safe. I think you've got to go out and try and win it.
Well, that bodes well for a very exciting final 3 minutes then, Jay. Cage doors closed. Our referee starts the 3rd and final round in this amateur bantamweight contest. And again, no time taken to start it.
Absolutely not. Start going with that right hand to the body, goes with the low kick as well. Attacking the lead leg of the southpaw. And he does. Tom does switch. Broadbent doesn't switch his stance, but Tom does switch. Oh, nice 1-2 there. Well, a backhanded it, a 2-1 in fact from Broadbent. And Staerk coming in, wrapped a nice shin across the body.
Staerk does like those crazy angles, doesn't he? That's sort of the shovel punch uppercut that he keeps going to comes from all over the place.
Yeah, and you see he doesn't just come forward with it either. He creates a little bit of an angle, step to the left, and then shimmies off to the right to take himself off the centre line. Broadbent has done well throwing his straight punches there to land a couple of times, but here we see a little bit of rare clinch. We saw
the longest these two fighters have been tied up all fight. And
we saw a couple of seconds in round 1, absolutely none in round 2. Let's see, maybe they got told by the corner, you know, let's try and work this and see if we can win this final round and seal the deal.
Well, Staerk had Broadbent with his back to the cage for a 20 or 30 second spell there, and all that time counts. But Broadbent circles off, and we're trading in the middle again.
Exactly, as Broadbent's doing well, as he's eating the low kicks. Oh, that was a good head kick.
But seems to evade it.
Great chin on him, doesn't look phased at all. And another left hook got through, and Broadbent eats these for breakfast.
Yeah, his expression hasn't taken his eye off his opponent and answers with a crisp left of his own. I think those leg kicks are starting to pay off a little bit.
He just stood straight in front of us there, and some big welts on that leg. But he's not got long left in this fight, you know. Oh! And another one lands. That's one of the first stumbles we've seen in the fight. That right leg is like mincemeat at the moment for Broadbent.
And Staerk going back to it every now and then.
He's not light, or you know, he doesn't look to be limiting his movement with it. It'll certainly hurt tomorrow, but for tonight, the adrenaline going, he doesn't seem massively phased about it.
No, you're right, Broadbent presses
nice
forward
left,
again,
and a hook.
This is a excellent competition for our first fight of the night. I hope the boys in the back are paying attention.
And another good straight left, and another finding a home for his range now. Late on in the 3rd. Oh, and a head kick from Staerk.
Phenomenal, 10 seconds left. Are they both going to just stand and trade? Oh.
I'm wincing at every one of those low kicks that he's done his table. What a great fight.
Come on, take a little trip with the frost. We about to go low.
Absolutely unbelievable performance there from both these young men.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a way to start UKFC 6. Let's hear it for both our fighters, please. And so, after 3 rounds of action, we head to the judges' scorecards where we have a decision. Your winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, Tom Staerk. And your appreciation for Ollie Broadbent.